Welcome back to another video, guys. It's Kennedy, and today I feel like I actually have a really good video for you guys. And honestly, I feel like I might need to do it in two parts because I literally have so many notes, because this is again another passionate topic of mine. But I just want to talk about just like being 25, being in Gen Z, like I feel like we get so much judgment, and I know I talked about this when I did my video on like why they don't hire Gen Z, but now I'm doing a video just because I feel like we be getting hate from like every which way, and it's really annoying because it's honestly not all of our fault. And I also feel like, first of all, it's not our entire generation. Like, you're not about to just generalize like that, first of all. But anyways, let's get right into it. So I'm gonna have like little subtopics. So yeah. First one I want to talk about is that I feel like traditionalism is being brought back within Generation Z and a little bit of millennials. I will say like the younger millennials. And I say that because people are realizing, like, yes, you know, women can work, women can have a job, they can be independent, but like at the end of the day, two is better than one. And honestly, I wouldn't, like, I'm married. I got married when I was 22, and I couldn't imagine not doing life with my husband. Like, I understand about having independence and not relying on someone, but it's like I wouldn't want to do life without him. Like, I love sharing life with him, sharing my accomplishments, my good days and my bad, and being able to do the same for him. I really love that. It has helped me grow so much as a person, as a woman. Like, if you guys want me to go into marriage talk, I can totally do that. And just like woman girl talk, whatever, like I feel like that'd be really fun. So comment down below if you want to see that. But I just feel like it's being brought back, and I think it's a beautiful thing. Even though I do feel like, you know, I'm not saying it's our entire generation as a whole, but I do feel like there is like a movement going. Because at first I felt like the movement was, you know, like I'm an independent woman, like I don't need a man. And now it's like, girl, it's cold in the winter and you want your bags. Like, it's like you can't, like, I, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like you can't want one and not the other. So for me, I feel like women are now like, oh yeah, like I do want a man. Like, yes, I can do this life thing alone, but I do want a man. And I think that is a great first step, because I feel like the relationship between men and women just in this day and age is like really off because of things on both ends. But a lot of the time it's women just like not taking accountability, or you know, like just being told certain things growing up, and it's like, yes, but like that's still someone's child as well. Like, I know like the big thing is like, oh, like you're the prize, you're the prize. Like, y'all are both the prize. It's not just about you, and it's not just about him, it's equal. Like, a lot of people say marriage is 50-50, and I told my husband, no, marriage is 100-100, because I'm going to give 100 and you should give 100. So, you know, like just little things like that. Like, I remember that was going around social media, and just women were really dogging men, and it got to a point where men were like, okay, cool, like if you don't need us, you don't want, like, we're good. Like, so now we're in a point where women are like running, like they're running to the men, and the men now have the choice to be like, you know, because you can do that, you can't, you know, it's just a give or take. I'm not going to go into that topic because that'll get me off real bad. But the next topic I have, like, just going back to the traditionalism, was just young marriage. Like, I'm seeing a lot of younger couples my age or younger, and I also think that's a great thing. I feel like, you know, it can go one of two ways. You know, it can go really well or really bad, but I feel like at least the people that I'm seeing, it's realistic. Like, we don't have everything, but we're building. And I like that I got married at a young age because we just get to experience so much together. And honestly, it gives, like, I feel like it gives you time to like be able to grow up and like be with someone that's going, or that should, my husband does, but someone that will bring you up, someone that is going to motivate you, push you. Like, that should be your person. I'm a Grey's Anatomy girly, so like my husband, that's my person. I always say that to him. So I think young marriage is beautiful. I think it's a great thing, and I love that I'm seeing it happen more. And I think it's great. And especially if you know that you want a family, if you get married young, like, yes, people are like, you shouldn't just get married and have kids. But I mean, a lot of young couples I'm seeing, like younger than I am, are getting married, having kids, and it's like they are set. Like by the time, like before they're 30, they like have their family. And I think that's really cool. It works for some and not others. Just everyone's situation is different. So like you can't compare yourself to others. Just, they're at where they're at, and when it's your time, it's your time. So yes, young marriage, yes, we love that. I think that it's a great thing. Okay, I want to talk about I guess like some negatives, like things that I always say. I feel like to like my friends, people that are around me, and something that I feel like is relatable for people in Gen Z. I feel like if we're gonna compare ourselves to our parents, grandparents, and great grandparents, they were able to do so much more in their 20s than we are. Like, I can't even explain. Like, the little topics I wrote down was like taking like little weekend trips and things like that. Like, in this day and age, you have to think about that. That has to be a plan. Like, I mean, unless you're just going rogue and you're just like, bro, whatever. Like, they'll get paid when they get paid. But if you're going to be responsible and pay your bills, I mean, we're only in our young 20s. They're not about to be giving us like high level management. Like, they don't really care for our generation, even though we work our butts off. We have literally gone through a lot, like, paved a way, made careers like within our generation that never existed before. There are ways that we're making money easier. Like, we don't have to do as much hard physical labor to accumulate the same amount of money. And I think that's a good thing. Things should evolve. So it's just like, I just feel like they got to do so much, like, and be in their 20s. Like, they have the pictures, and it's like for us, like, if you're trying to be responsible, it's like, yeah, I have to work because I know I want to buy a house. And at this point, it's not $17,000 to buy a house, it's $300,000 to buy a house. And, like, you never know what people's pay grades are. Like, it depends. It's person to person, depending on your job. But like, I feel like in our young 20s, we're not able to do as much. We're not able to really freely travel. Like, though I do see people like younger and in their 20s doing it, I'm not talking about the people that are like in the limelight. I'm talking about regular, everyday people, which is like 90% of the population. So I don't feel like we're able to do those things because we're trying to be responsible. And I think something that's big in our generation is building generational wealth. And when you do that, you understand that you have to you have to persevere. You're not going to be able to do everything with everyone. And because your end goal is that you will, whether that be own multiple businesses, own a acreage, something like that. Or, maybe you want to build a community where it's just you and your family. You buy a whole bunch of land and y'all do something like that. When you know that's your goal, like, you have to put the time in. And I get it, but it's like, it should be a give or take. It shouldn't be, oh, okay, well, if we go have fun, we're probably not about to eat next week. Like, that's kind of screwed up, but it is what it is. We're working past it. We're moving through it. We're going to just feel so great when we can enjoy the fruits of our labor. Next topic. Buying houses. Let's be real. Like, are you kidding me, guys? Like, the interest rate is ridiculous. I am literally a real estate agent, and it is insane, like, looking at these numbers and seeing that, like, it's almost normal to be 35 plus buying your first home. Like, yes, there are those people that can buy at 20, but that is not the majority. So that is insane that people are, because then you have to think about how, well, are they going to start a family, or are they going to wait till they buy a house to start a family? It just is like prolonging a lot of like major life events that will affect us in the future. And it's just really unfortunate, but hoping the economy will turn around. Hopefully we can be buying houses, guys, and not be waiting till we're 40 to buy a house. Like, but I just want to say that the struggle is real. And I feel like this all goes back, being honest, like, to the job market as well, because when we think about that we're not getting hired, or we're going to school to put the work in, and then they're like, oh, but you don't have experience. And it's like, well, how do I get experience without have being in school? And so it's just like, what do you mean? Like, I did what I was supposed to do. Like, why is this happening? And then for our grandparents and great grandparents, like, they had guaranteed money that they knew they were going to get. It was normal for people to work at one company for over 10 years or 20 years, because you know that at a certain amount of years at that job, you're going to get a pension. And companies don't, like, in our generation, we're replaceable. Oh, well, somebody else can come do it. Versus then, like, I don't feel that it was like that. I don't think that they were in their face telling those people to work 12, 14, 16-hour shifts and to, be respectful, smile like a robot all the time, even though people are disrespecting you, customers are getting out of line, but, oh, but you're replaceable. Like, that, being told that does not feel good, for one, and two, that's just like a slap in the face, because then it's like, well, why am I here if I'm replaceable then? And I don't understand why other generations don't get that. Why are y'all mad at our reaction? Like, if I'm replaceable, then replace me. Because I'm clearly not of value to your company. And to my knowledge, you should at least feel like you add value to your company. I mean, that's ridiculous. And to be under work standards in that way, like, people are working hard, working overtime, probably working and doing stuff that's probably not even legal for these companies, but we're replaceable. That's so annoying. I cannot stand that. It drives me insane. Sorry, I'm looking at, you already know, I'm looking down on my phone because I have all my questions or my topics. So I just feel like that's like two different scenarios. Like, we are working for companies knowing that they're not about to do anything for us no matter how long we work for them. There is no guaranteed money at the end of it. It's maybe a nice little award or plaque. Versus they knew, hey, if I work here for 25 years, I'm going to get a pension for $4,000, however much per month for the rest of my life till I die. And we're over here like, you don't get anything, and you better do as you're told. You better not say anything, and you're replaceable. Like, how... What? Like, of course we don't want to be at these jobs. We don't want to go to work. We don't feel appreciated. That's not, I mean, come on now. You can only take that for so long before, things start to get out of hand, because people are only going to take you disrespecting them and tearing them down for so long before they rise up. So, yeah. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about, and I know that this is really crazy, but they're going to tie together. I want to talk about the overcorrecting and parenting, as well as participation awards. When I say overcorrecting and parenting, I'm meaning, like, I feel like there was too much, at least for our generation, from like our parents. So I'll say, I guess, like, people in Gen Z could have millennial parents, Gen X parents, boomers. Okay, whatever, our parents, I feel like they, got mistreated, like, so badly, or at least that's what they say with the comparison of, like, how we get treated. And they were just like, I'm never going to do that. I won't do that to my kid. But, like, some of that stuff works and was done for a reason. And I feel like we are now seeing the consequences of that, because by you not doing a thing, and I get it, like, there's a way to go about that. So I guess I'll say, like, how the big topic of, like, spanking your kids, or like the gentle parenting, we'll just say the gentle parenting, not even spanking kids, but gentle parenting, that whole topic is honestly insane, because it is true, like, all kids are different, and some kids don't react to being talked to nicely. Like, they have to be, and I don't know what it is. I'm a coach, and for the most part, I don't have to yell at my kids, but there are kids whose parents will be like, yeah, you're gonna have to yell at her. She does not, like, she needs you to be intense. So sometimes you have to be that way, and I think some people need to mind their business when other parents are parenting their children, because, I mean, you don't know how that kid is. You don't know the relationship, so you joining in or trying to, create a video online, trying to say, like, oh, this parent's a bad parent. Like, to a certain extent, you don't know anything behind the scenes, so why? And it's like, because of things like that, so the overcorrecting and parenting, like, just because their parents did it one way, they just they went rogue, like the complete opposite. There was no, like, happy medium. That is what is needed, is a happy medium. Like, it shouldn't be all the way here and it shouldn't be all the way there. Let's find a place in the middle. And due to that, that then caused what we know as participation awards, which started to come out in the 80s and 90s. So when our parents were growing up, or when they were, when they were growing up, that right there. And I'm very competitive, so just know that, guys. I did competitive cheer, and because of that, I'm so competitive. I always want to win. Now, I do know there's a fine line. I don't go over that line, but I like to win. So for me, participation awards is like where the ball started rolling and where things kind of started going wrong. Again, you have to find a balance, because the fact that, like, oh, well, everybody gets one. Like, no, that's not realistic. Everybody doesn't get one and everybody doesn't win, because when we become adults, now look at some of our generation that just thinks that, oh, they should just get things just because. Like, no, you have to earn it. You have to put in the work for it. You can't just assume you're going to get stuff. But you are going to have that mentality when all you did was show up and you still got the trophy anyway. It wasn't, oh, you showed up, you worked during your practice, you came in outside of your practice to put in work. It was, no, you just did the bare minimum, and just because you were there, you got it. That's not good. That is why we have what is happening now. It's just like, there needs to be a happy medium. And honestly, there probably isn't one with participation awards. Like, oh my gosh, like, that is why people are so sensitive and this, that, and third. And I'm a sensitive person, and I have grown through that. I'm growing through that, because this world is not a nice place. And though I'm a kind person and I think about others' feelings and whatever in the aftermath, everybody doesn't always think like that. And nobody's going to feel bad for you just because you're crying because somebody said something to you. But now we have a generation of that, because participation awards and just a whole bunch of other things. But this video is getting long. I got like 4 minutes left. I'm going to admit 20 minutes. We're maxing this out. If y'all want a part 2, y'all got to let me know. Okay. Done with participation awards. Let me see. I feel like I kind of touched on everything. Oh, okay. So back to like my Gen Z, like how they're not hiring us. I have like some thoughts about that, and I want you guys to think about it. I'll leave you guys like with this little message, I guess. So, well, not a little message. It's just like 2 or 3 bullet points that I'm like really thinking about. Like, I'm trying to make it make sense why you won't hire us, why why we don't have enough experience, even though we literally just got out of school and we're trying to get the experience. So here are my little thoughts, so my first one I put was, do you not want to share the wealth? Like, and I'm only saying that because if you don't train us, how can we take over these roles? You call us lazy. We're trying to do the work to get up there, and you don't want to help us. You don't want to do internships. You expect us to do 8 people's jobs for free. It's just like, what do you want? Like, we're trying to climb our way to the top the correct way, and y'all are like doing everything in your power to not let that happen. And it's like, no offense, y'all are getting old. It's time for y'all to go. We need some new, we need some fresh in there. Like, y'all have been there for like 20 plus years. You've done your due. I'm good. Like, you did it. You made it. Pass the torch. Like, I don't understand that. So honestly, have y'all had that thought too? Again, the thought was, do you not want to share the wealth? Hey. Okay, my next one is, do you not, are y'all lazy? Are you the ones that are lazy? I say that because y'all call us lazy, but then it feels like when we're not getting hired for these certain positions, it feels like it's because y'all don't want to train us. It feels like y'all don't want to take the time to put in the work and know that I might mess up a few times, but you're still going to be there and have my back. Because I feel like some jobs, it's almost like if you make one mistake, like, you're gone, you're out of there. We're not a robot, and neither are you. You made mistakes. Whoever was your mentor allowed you to make mistakes and still had your back. It just doesn't feel like that happens anymore. Yeah. So again, that question was, do you not want to take the time to train us? / are you the one that's lazy? Wait, not I clocked their tea, low key. Not me clocking tea, y'all. Okay, stop. Okay, so I guess that was all. I guess I only had 2. I thought I had more. I guess the last thing that I'll say is, The world is not perfect. There is always going to be good and bad. That is like just how the universe even operates. Like, for there to be good, there has to be bad, and for there to be bad, there has to be good. So with that being said, we cannot fix everyone's problems. Like, people are going to have to go through hard times, tough things, and that's what makes them a stronger person. That's what makes them who they are when they become an adult. That's what makes, people that we look up to be those people. They had to struggle. They didn't just get everything handed to them, or they didn't just have everything done for them so that they didn't have to get hurt or fail. And I feel like that's a little bit, I'll bring it down a notch, like, on my energy, but like, I feel like that's something we can focus on. It's just understanding, like, people are going to go through things. Yes, to a certain extent you can help people out, but sometimes they need to go through life. They need to experience things. They need to understand. And that's what's going to make them stronger, is because they went through that situation. That situation made them stronger. That's something they can say as an adult. Oh my gosh, if I had not gone through that, I know that I would not have been this strong of a person to deal with this. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Where there's good, there's bad. Where there's bad, there's good. Yin and yang. Anyways, this is a long video, so if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching, and I will, as I say, see you in the next one.